Hello friends, today we'll start up with classical conditioning, and this topic is not only important for class 11th students but it's important for all competitive exams also, especially NET with psychology and other competitive exams. So let's start. Okay, students, today we will continue the chapter learning. In this, we had done what is learning, what are the characteristics of learning. Today, we will proceed to theories of learning, which the mainly in your course there are two theories of learning: classical conditioning and instrumental conditioning. Today we will study about classical conditioning. It's all a new concept for you, and it was given by Ivan P. Pavlov. That's why it is also called as Pavlian conditioning. Okay, so let's start. First, let me tell you the definition of classical conditioning. It is the type of learning in which a neutral stimulus comes to bring about a response after it is paired with a stimulus that naturally brings that response. Okay, so in order to understand this definition of classical conditioning, you need to know the terms neutral stimulus and unconditioned stimulus. So first let us try to understand these terms. What is unconditioned stimulus and what is neutral stimulus, what is unconditioned response and what is conditioned response. These terms are very important to be understood first before I start you explaining this concept as explained by Pavlov. Okay, so unconditioned stimulus is the stimulus that naturally causes a particular response. Okay, for example, if you the natural response towards the food is salivation, which occurs in your mouth when you put the food in your mouth or when you smell the food. If it is your favorite food, then the natural reaction towards this is salivation. So that is nothing you have learnt. Okay, that's your natural response, and that is what is unconditioned stimulus. Okay, now let me explain you what is neutral stimulus. Now, neutral stimulus is the stimulus that does not naturally cause you to respond in a certain way. For example, if children are making the noise, then does the saliva is coming in your mouth? No, isn't it? So that is what is a neutral stimulus. Has no relation, okay, with the students making the noise and saliva coming in your mouth. Okay, so this is just a neutral stimulus. The sound of the students is just the neutral stimulus. But in classical conditioning, I'll be explaining you, showing you the picture of the Pavlian settings and all, and will tell you how in this conditioning this has been when this neutral stimulus paired with the unconditioned stimulus, then the same response occurred to the conditioned stimulus. This is what is classical conditioning. Now I will be explaining you the Pavlov settings and all. Now see, this is the apparatus which was used by Pavlov. In this he has tied the dog from every corner, you are seeing, and then he has presented the plate of food in front of the dog. Then he noted the salivary reaction. The dog did salivatory reaction towards the food. That was his natural response. Okay, so that was his unconditioned response, and the unconditioned stimulus in this case was food. Okay, first thing is unconditioned stimulus leads to unconditioned response, in this case food and the salivation. Then in the next few trials, what he did was that he presented the bell and waited for the salivatory reaction. Bell is a neutral stimulus, so the dog did not salivate. So he kept trying. Then he tried that after presenting the bell, after presenting the sound of the bell, he presented the food, and then the dog salivated. Many times he continued to give these trials to the dog, and he found that as soon as he presented the sound of the bell, the dog salivated. Okay, this is what he made him to learn. Okay, that at the sound of the bell, he starts salivating. This is his classical conditioning. Now let's recap what is classical conditioning. See what he did in the experiment. Before conditioning, he presented the food and the salivation occurred. Food is unconditioned stimulus and salivation is unconditioned response. Then when he gave the sound of the bell, no response occurred. And this bell, I had already explained you, it's a neutral stimulus, and so no response occurred. Then during the conditioning, what he did was he presented bell then food. Food, bell plus food is the unconditioned stimulus, and it resulted in, firstly it didn't resulted in salivation, but after the conditioning, when the sound of the bell was there, it resulted in salivation. Now students, do you see examples of classical conditioning in your daily life? One such example I am giving you. For example, today you went out in your favorite dress and you wrote the paper, and it was fantastic. The result was good. Next time also, when you had the paper, by chance you wore that pretty dress of yours, and the same result occurred. Okay, now next time also maybe the same thing happened. Now you start associating it with that dress of yours and the success you are getting. So every time you want to get success, you will wear that shirt. Okay, although it has no connection, it depends on what you have studied for your exam, that brought you the success, or that brought you the good marks, and it has nothing to do with the shirt or your dress which you were wearing at that time. Okay, so this is the example from our daily life.